Hi everybody, Russ and West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new and here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, Monday again, innit? Monday again. Literally, I blinked. I think I must have blinked on Friday, and then I opened up my eyes again, and it's Monday. Monday. Oh dear. Anyway, I hope everyone is safe and well. I bring good, potential good news for a nice Monday. According to several sources, the Hammers have big hopes that Jarrod Bowen will be back for the game against Everton at the weekend. And also Vladimir Coufal will return as well, as we enter sort of the final lap, really, is it really, of the 2021-22 season. Both are expected to be involved as we await the return of Fat Frank and his relegation threatened Everton. But it's a match obviously utmost importance to us, and we can't obviously drop any more. Can't drop a point from here on, really, if you hold a genuine top 4, top 5, top 6 hope, really. And the news that Bowen and Coufal could be back is very welcome indeed as we head into this game. I think it was X said on his podcast the other day. He said that the club are hopeful that he'll be back for the Everton game. There's an element of confusion surrounding the injury, but from what he's been told, the match against Everton is seen as his potential return, and obviously the same with Coufal. And also, while we're talking about injuries and recovery, he said Ogbonna's is ahead of schedule as well, with an end of April being a potential return date for him. So we could have Ogbonna by the time we enter the final month of the season. So we'd have almost a completely fit squad, touch wood. That sounds a bit crazy. Obviously, we know how important Bowen is for us in terms of our season. This season, he's 39 games, 12 goals, 11 assists, 23 goal of, it's almost one every other game, really, isn't it? It's always it's more than that, isn't it? In terms of a goal involvement, he's played loads of positions, a number of positions this season, and has been crucial. And obviously, unfortunately, timing was also really bad as well for the injury, because obviously he would have been in this current England squad, and we'd have had 2 players in the England squad with Declan Rice obviously coming on. Arguably man of the match, I'd say, probably on Saturday, despite playing half a game, which again shows his importance. And we'll talk about Declan Rice in the Hammers headlines later on this afternoon. And some lovely words from Mr. Gareth Southgate about Declan Rice's future at West Ham. And not at West Ham, but England, rather. So we've got a chat. We've got Scott. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're well, my friend. Merry Christmas as Peter one and all. It would be a lovely Christmas present, wouldn't it? We need to win the next 3 league games to stand any chance of 6th place. And actually, in terms of when we talk about Hammers headlines tonight, one of them involves the financial implications of where we finish this season, and how anything probably above 10th is better than originally planned, apparently, from the original plans at the beginning of the season. Ludders, good afternoon to you. Freema, I hope you're well. Good morning, P-Gads. -10 spring day. I think West Ham should play the under-23s in the Premier League and focus on the Europa League. There we go. It was a very foggy morning this morning, but it's basking in sunshine in Hornchurch now, which is great. 6 days until proper. I know. And just to mark your card, we've got a few things coming up this week. On Wednesday, we've got Mr. West Ham, Mr. Academy, Tony Carr live, like the same we had with Shaka Hislop recently and Scott Minto. He'll be live coming on, taking your questions as well. So, from anywhere, his West Ham Academy CV starts with, I think, Paul Brush and Alan Kirbishley coming through the academy, all the way to Declan Rice, technically. So literally everyone who's come through the ranks at West Ham has been under his tutelage at some time. He's got a new book coming out as well, so we're talking about that. But your opportunity to ask a man who's basically shaped modern day West Ham, I'd say. Several different iterations, the golden generation of the Joe Coles and Rios and Franks, into potentially a new one now with Declan Rice, who was, I think he was in the last group that he coached. So that'll be on Wednesday, so make sure you check that out. Make sure that'd be really good. And on Thursday, we've got another appreciation night. We've got a Julian Dix appreciation night with Martin Godliman, Nigel Khan, Shedman himself. And if you haven't seen them, they're great fun. Literally, there'll be highlights. There'll be a few goals, probably. Martin does a good video package, like charting Julian's career at West Ham. And then we have a bit of a debate. Get questions from you guys, comments. It's a really nice evening. It's something a bit different. Afternoon, Steve. Hope you're well. Alfie's in. Hopefully you're well too. Morning, Russ. No work for me. I'm retired. Lovely, Kevin. All right for some. Hope you're well. Lee, hello. Hope you're well. So Lingard put his house up for sale, but where will he go? I wonder. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Afternoon, Skipper. Hope you're well. And also, if you, I don't think you saw, we put up we was talking about the internationals last week. Some people were talking about players play for West Ham, players did play for England and West Ham, players who didn't. So we did a revisiting of a program an episode I did a while ago. That was on Saturday, where we charted all 43 players who have played for England. And tomorrow, we've got I've compiled a list of the 30 West Ham players, to the top 30 West Ham players to have never played for England. And I'm sure you'll know some of the names in there. There's a few names which surprised me as well in there. So, yeah, there's 30. We could have done 50, 60, 70, but we've just stuck with 30 for time being. Wally, hope you're well. The time zones, I know, back to normal. That was the trouble with the Shackers one. I didn't realise the time zones were still buggered up. So, yeah, all back to normal, thankfully. So, hopefully you can join us. Actually, it's an hour worse off for you anyway now. As the clocks went back on Sunday. Send you an email. Oh, I'll read that later. Thank you, Alfie. So Lee, I'm very good. Hope you're well, my mate. How is the weather where you are? I hope the news that potentially I'm going to read it later. Potentially, Jarrod Bowen is could be back for the Everton game, which could be very timely for the Europa League with Leon and Leon twice in the space of a week, and some crucial games coming up. And I think Everton's going to be a crucial game for us because we need that bounce. We need that sort of. We've had a couple of Tottenham games. It was a bit of a damp squib, wasn't it? We need that bounce ready for Leon next Thursday. God, it's coming fast, isn't it? Coming fast, coming furious. Afternoon, Rob. Hope you're well. Hope you are well. So yes, that's the plans. Obviously, tomorrow night's England, so I'm not going to put anything tomorrow, so you can watch England tomorrow if you really, really want. Or you can rewatch the 30 West Ham players never to play for England. That'll be on tomorrow. Ludders missed England live and watched the highlights later on and couldn't believe how little they showed the second half, as I was looking forward to seeing. Well, that's when it all happened, didn't it? He came on, and it was just like. He came on and just made so much a difference. So, yeah. I don't know. But, yeah, no, and I think Declan Rice's value got higher by him not playing in the first half, if that makes sense. People were like, it's just not working. And apparently, when he came, he was warming up at half-time. There was a massive, cheer for him play. It was like everyone was obviously the subs warming up, but he was doing a more of active warm up, and it was quite clear. Skipper went, didn't he? Went to Wembley Saturday. Have to say, Rice made a massive difference. But then they went back to that double pivot, which works so well in sort of the Euros, isn't it? With him and where it was him and Calvin and Phillips, rather, the two of them. It was sort of him and Henderson, so it sort of works a bit better. Definitely. He did, Alfie. We're going to talk about that tonight at Hammer's Headlines, 5 o'clock. So we'll see. Possibly, yeah. I mean, he's. I mean, I was looking through the squad, and there's so many captains. Where's my? I wrote them down. So they've got. So like in the England setup, as you would imagine, because it's the best players in England apparently. But the idea is you've got a lot of captains. Harry Kane was obviously captain Spurs, but I think he's a very good captain. Jordan Henderson, who I think is quite a good captain. Harry Maguire, who's not very good. Declan Rice, technically, he's to all intents and purposes the club captain. He's not a club captain, but he's the pitch captain. Connor Cody, Tyrone Mings, and Mark Geary, who was in the squad. He's captain Palace as well. So they've got like half a dozen captains. So they should be. So they should be. And I think something like, isn't it the 20? It was the England are 21 games unbeaten in all competitions. It's the longest unbeaten sequence in England's history. And no, it does not include the losing in penalty shootouts. 21 games undefeated. That ain't too shabby, is it? In all this squabble about you've got to remember that there's no matter which team he steps into, makes a difference. Not sure people get that. You're totally right, Freeman. I mean, for Deck, he's a player who comes in and doesn't matter what team he plays in, he's going to make a massive difference. A massive difference. I hope it's still West Ham, but anyway. I always liked Shaqiri as a player and wanted to sign us. Well, I think there was talks at one point when we had Arnie of Shaqiri coming in, wasn't there, if I remember correctly? It's funny now. It's like, you can tell we did like a transfer special the other day on Hammer's Headlines. And during the international break, journos get a bit twitchy, don't they? Because nothing for them to write about. And then you get all the bloody things. We've been linked with so many people. We talk about the Hammers headlines tonight. We talk about the snag with the Shakhtar Donetsk duo. We talk about Declan Rice as a potential future England captain, and also the windfall for the summer in terms of the money received for the Sky and finishing in the league places. That's not also including the Europa League as well in terms of the money received for that as well. So there's a nice little packet there, which hopefully. And because we didn't spend a penny in January either, we'll see what happens. I predict a busy transfer window. It's the final countdown. It is. It is. We're getting to the final countdown. How many league games have we got left? Let's have a quick look. How many league games we got left? Let's have a little butcher's hook while we're doing that. Not long to go. What about Will Smith, eh? Oh dear. Unbelievable. Chris Rock. Unbelievable. And also, Canada reach their first men's World Cup since 1986 when they beat Jamaica 4-0. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Craig Forrest. Isn't Donnell Henry? He's in the squad, isn't he, I think? And obviously Scott's in the chat. He loves old Cole Larrin and stuff, so that's really good. I know, what's his face? Craig Forrest was waxing lyrically about the Canadian squad when we had him on the channel. Right, so let's get all captains won't start, but Rice is without a doubt, Alf. Without a doubt, my friend. Afternoon, Sharky. Afternoon, Steve. It's interesting how we're all playing. How now we're playing Everton. The link with Calvin. Well, I mean, the link came out. It did come out because we did a thing about it during the January transfer window. It did come out there, but it does help when doesn't help when you start talking to people together. It sort of works, It people put two and two together, don't they? Is there any West Ham fan there who would rather see England win a trophy? Nah, nada. Shaqiri would be better for team morale. Well, she could bring her boyfriend. No, her husband. Isn't her husband Gerard Piqué, the Barcelona defender, I believe. I'm in the doghouse, booked the 27th February for Mum's. Oh, Mum fell. Yeah, we did all right. Me and Flo. We did all right. We took Mrs. Budden out to Sir Henry's in Averley for a lovely meal. It was very, very nice. So let's have a look. So we got games left. We've got Everton at home. This is just Premier League. Everton at home, Brentford away, Burnley home, Chelsea away, and then we've got Arsenal at home, Norwich away, City at home, Brighton away. 8 games left. 8, 16, 24. 24 points up for grabs. 24 points up for grabs. What would that leave us on the old... we're on 48. 24, is that 72? Maximum 72 points. That would be the most we've ever finished on in the Premier League, surely. Yeah, I think that's right. Not going to happen, but anyway. What we got here is an up-and-coming... Oh, okay. Tajan Buchanan. Oh, Scott knows, you see. Scott knows. Skipper, you weren't for out. Yeah. Well, he's had a month out. But then if you got your birthday wrong by a month, Steve, you'll be pissed off, wouldn't you? We just don't want to sign anyone and need to start negotiations. Well, that's the thing. We and also there is a shorter sort of period before the beginning of the season as well. In that we start 2 or 3 weeks earlier because of the Qatarian World Cup. Be loads of stuff. Anyone who's sort of a YouTuber or anything like that. Obviously, we've got the World Cup draw soon. Isn't that next week? Is that this week? It's soon, isn't it? The World Cup draw. I think it might be this week, actually. Let's have a look. Google. Hey, Google. World Cup draw. I thought it was this week because I know Jack and Spence have gone out there. Well, Gel. Friday. Draws on Friday, 5 p.m. UK time. There we go. Deckers is better than PK. Well, different positions. You say anything bad about Mrs. B, then Russ will come and give you a slap. Yeah. Don't say anything about my jokes. We don't want to sign, but it'd be nice to sign someone. It would be nice to sign for him. And I think we're gonna. Well, I hope we're pleasantly surprised. I think it really this window to me shows what the intention of. Obviously, this is the first proper one really with Danny Krasinski, his feet under the table as well. Because it sort of was a bit, it's sort of like, so we'll see what happens. We have the Sky money. We'll have, obviously, the need to buy players in as well. We should have, obviously, Europa League money as well. We get that for where we finish. I think, if I remember, I think we'd already got about another 6 or 7 million for qualifying and getting through. And we also got, I think we also got 500,000 on top of winning the group because we got through to the final 16. I think, I'm not too sure, but anyway, it looked like it didn't. I think he proper did him there. What we got here? Yeah, April the 1st. Yeah, April 1st is the draw, 5 p.m. That'd be interesting. That'd be good. We need to beat Brighton. We might need those points at the end of the season. I think Brighton also. That to me, that was one of the games last year that buggered up our Champions League spot. I'm thinking that one and the Arsenal game. Those 2 games made a huge difference. Hopefully that Newman guy from City does something. Well, I think you're going to see lots of really unusual players, like different players coming up. And we sort of got an inkling of that in January. So it wasn't like the usual suspects. I mean, I know there was reports this week that there's been a gentleman's agreement with Milenkovic, but it's not if you read it properly. It doesn't say he's definitely coming to West Ham, but he's had a gentleman's agreement with Fiorentina that he'll leave if a good offer comes in for him for his new contract. So is what it is. You got Sven Botman potentially, 35 million. I think there's going to be some really interesting balls. I think there's going to be a lot of. I think Liga. We seem to be linked with a lot of players from Liga, so maybe that's one area which Rob's looking at. I don't know, but you're going to get these sort of random people like who, a bit like Thomas Souček. When we signed Thomas Souček, we went who, and then he became Thomas Souček, and then Vladimir Coufal, who, and it's actually this is quite good. Serious question: if Moyes is a very underwhelming track, will we see protest? I don't know, Scott. I don't know. They don't want to buy it until we sell decks. I don't think so. I don't think so at all, Prima. I really don't. Because I think actually having decks is a big pulling power. It's a big pulling power. Having an England international, having someone who's arguably one of the best midfielders in the world. And that's not me being biased about West Ham. I just think he is. I think that's a huge. That's why I can't see him. I know there's like he's on, they put a price tag on his head, but realistically, there's only about 1 or 2 clubs who are going to have the capital, the available capital, to spend £150 million on a player. So I very much doubt. That's almost like you can have him, or you can have him, £550 million. It's almost like that type of way I see it being. portrayed. A lot of people said, "Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to go." If someone offers 150 million quid for him, I think he would. I think, of course, we'd sell him. But I can't see anyone offering us that money. I really can't. So it's almost like that's the price tag. And well, but then I never thought Jack Grealish was going to go for 100 million, and they sold him. But then they knew he was going to be sold, and they reinvested it. And so I don't think they're waiting for him to go to then spend. I don't think that's the case. I think the case is he's very much integral, and I can't see him both Noble and Rice going this summer. He says, indeed, that's what I mean. He's a no-no. I can't see that happening. Can't see that next summer if we've not progressed, and also he's got the World Cup as well, and you know you got to think. I know he's guaranteed to be in the World Cup, but still there's a settling in period with a new club, and actually I think it benefits us having the World Cup in December, really, because you know the chances are the only clubs who could possibly afford it at that price range would be Man City. Chelsea, but then Chelsea can't spend any money, and Abramovich is leaving, so the chances of them having so much power like that, I don't think it's going to happen for a long time. And that's when they will be able to. That's when they can buy someone. And Real Madrid. Now Dex is not going to go to Real Madrid in that space of a month. He'll have 2 or 3 months. He won't be able to bed in. He's time to bed in. Then he's off to the World Cup. So I think actually, next summer, I could see there being an issue. He'll still have 2 years left in his contract, I think, as well. I think so. What we've got here, UEFA will hate West Ham. They beat Barcelona. We do what we want. West Ham United, innit? Hi to fellow West Ham fans. Is it strange every season as we're about to renew our West Ham tickets, so many players linked again? I think also when we're about to do our season, everyone's doing their season tickets, it goes into that silly season. Honestly, I think a lot of it's coincidental as well. But yeah, I know what you mean. Richard, hope you're well, my friend. Russ, please clear something up. I'll bring the Dettol wipes. A couple of weeks ago, you said there were 5 in normal time and 1 in extra time, as made single subs. By the rules I was told is for the Europa League, it was 5 subs plus a 6th additional sub in extra time, so you could actually make up to six subs. And they did say the 5 subs had to be made on 3 separate occasions, so you couldn't make 5 individual subs. Now Sevilla they can make single subs, and that's up to them, but they didn't use all 5 of their subs up. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, I do apologise. But if I'm right, so they couldn't do 5 individual subs in normal time. I think they can. I think they have an extra sub opportunity in the extra time. Someone can check that, but that's pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what I do. Otherwise, you do one and then 2 minutes later do another sub, and you could almost lose 10 minutes for your subs in it. That's what I thought was the rule. Lots of non-seekers upset about not getting tickets for the Lyon game. Get extra 4, non-holders 1. I know, Kevin. I can't think of a date. I think it's difficult as well. But we've seen ticket holders. You got the Claret members, and yeah, tickets have been quite. I mean, I'm fortunate in that I'm not a member or anything, but obviously I'm working there, so I will be going. I won't be going to the away game, but I'll be going to the home game. But obviously I'm working, but still, I'm fortunate enough to be there. And I think it's all a broken system, to be honest. And it's the same as every other club, really. I think other clubs do the same sort of, for the European games, because this is new to us. Really, we're sort of learning as we go. I think we're realising what happens going forward, and next year when we're in the Champions League, be a similar situation, but then we'll hopefully maybe more people become Claret members or whatever. I don't know. Talking about Chelsea, how likely is it that Brozier and Gallagher will be available? I'd take either if they were available. It's dependent on whether Chelsea can buy anyone. In my opinion, I think if Chelsea bought people, can buy people. I could see them going or even back out on loan. The fact is, Conor Gallagher is now playing in the England squad. Brozier is top goal scorer at Southampton. I think Conor Gallagher's top goal scorer at Crystal Palace as well. I think they've got three, and also obviously whoever's top goal scorer for Chelsea. They've got three Chelsea players, a top goal scoring for clubs in the Premier League, which is a bit wrong. I know FIFA and UEFA are bringing in a rule in terms of the amount of players can loan out, I believe, and they're reducing that by one over the next few years. So someone like Chelsea will not benefit having a big squad, so they'll be having to get players off their books. Who knows? I mean, apparently we were looking at Brozier. I can see him looking at Brozier, but whether Chelsea, want to cut their losses with Lukaku and see him as long-term replacement for Lukaku, who knows? I suppose it depends about the manager. Is it? He's. There was talk of Man United being interested in Tuchel. Whether that's going to happen, who knows? But I'll take both. Could you imagine a midfield of Gallagher, Declan Rice, and Souček? Mikey, hope you are well. Deck is also good at crazy golf. He is. Just shown up and stormed the gate. That will show him indeed. Any truth in well, apparently, and that's what we're going to talk about later on. That they were going to. That despite the Shakhtar thing hitting a bit of a snag, apparently we've offered a deal to Devan Lovren. We'll talk about that a little bit more at 5:00. But strange one, isn't it? But I think you'd have to offer him, because I know obviously Victor Moses, he got his proposed move to Burnley turned down, didn't he? Which seemed contradictory. But then I read, was it Sheffield United have signed a player from the Russian league, and so it's all a bit weird. So how did it work? I think it's a 2-year deal. So whether I don't think his contract terminated, or has he? I don't know. It seems to be a lot of legality. I would stay clear of it all, to be honest. I just think there's so many. I mean, we've had our fingers burnt with like Tevez and stuff before, haven't we? So never learn. Russ, they did subs on 56.91. Did they really? What? Sevilla did subs. Really? Wow. Fair play. I thought he could only have them on 3 separate occasions. That's why. So you'd have 5. It might be. Maybe it would have been maybe it's a Carabao Cup rule or something like that. But I was pretty sure that's what they said. But anyway, Ludders, I bow down to your words there. I'm just going to look myself. Let's have a look at lineups. So they 56. I'm trying to think whether it's. Yeah, because we didn't make any subs to the 87th minute, and then we had to realise an extra time. Okay, right. I reckon, lads. I reckon I know what's up. Reckon that's what's up. I reckon, maybe this is just me. This is just me spitballing. Maybe there's not a rule in extra time. Maybe it's just in the full 90 minutes. I don't know, because as you said, they made it a 56 and the 90th minute, kinda, and then 96, 102 were all in extra time. Maybe they didn't. Maybe the rules out the window in extra time. Just saying. Don't know. I'd love to see Calvin Phillips sign. I think it'd be great. Calvin Phillips, Souček and Rice. Surely can't be fair. Well, it's not, and that's why they're bringing this rule into place. So the idea is it reduces the number of players. I think they literally go. I think Mohamed Skipper or someone told me about this. So like every season, it's going to go one less. So it means that they have to. They can't have everyone on there basically. Not rather than come to us. Well, we could offer Champions League football, couldn't we? Potentially, lads, if we win the Premier, if we win the Europa League. Oh, that ice didn't sound very, very good. Turn us down, all that chasing him. Ilika Johnson still having the medical, I believe, at the moment. I think the only way we will get Calvin Phillips is Leeds go down. Well, I think, it seems like, as you said, like Everton are willing to let Calvert-Lewin go as well. And, and I saw an article which was quite interesting for us in that we had in that Fulham are looking at bringing Nick Pope in from Burnley as their number one, which is good news for us potentially getting Areola on loan again, because obviously Areola had quite a good spell at Fulham, and I could see them coming back in for him if they get promoted, which they probably will do. So for them looking at Nick Pope, 20 million quid. 29 as well. I rate right. Yep, no, I do. Sean Wright Phillips, yep, yeah, and Idaho Johnson. Still on waiting for that to go through, and Carlos Bacca as well. Did anyone snatch up Tete or Traore? No, well, Traore we were looking at. I said we were looking at him and Neres, but nothing happened. Well, actually, nothing's happened. Wait till 5 o'clock and you'll hear about the slight snag. It's all in the press anyway. Leeds could well go down if they look at their running, but regardless, I don't think there's any chance turning up West Ham. I think that might. Oh, wow, I don't know. It would be, I think, with someone like Phillips coming in, a real show of intent, in my opinion, because he is a very good player. But similarly, yeah, I mean, I think maybe when he goes to Man United, not with all the Leeds stuff as well, Leeds, Man United, but we'll see. Additional tickets for Leon to be released at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. on the today. So good luck to all those who haven't got tickets. It's a bit crazy, isn't it? It's like, isn't it the most we've sold in some record, something like that? It's crazy. Nothing happened because the Premier League didn't let them register their players. But the EFL haven't they? I'm pretty sure it's Sheffield United. I'm pretty sure Sheffield United have signed, let's put Russian. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they've signed Filip Jurimovic. Filip. They've signed Filip. The defender won 6. He's Croatian, and they've signed him on a temporary loan without paying a fee, and that's all gone through. So there we go. So they've done it already. He's a Croatian international. Yeah, he's quite a good player by the looks of it. So they've signed him. So, you know, there's a precedent set there. So we'll see what happens. But as you said, Victor Moses has been turned down for his move to Burnley. Would rather Gallagher than Phillips, but I want Brozier. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think who would I rather want? I think Gallagher. I think you're right, man. Just that dynamic. It's that goal scoring, isn't it? Like Phillips is a great player, but he doesn't necessarily score goals. Where Conor Gallagher is just very, very. What's the word? He's just very tenacious, isn't he? Very tenacious, and he's incredibly skillful. Everton have horrendous running going. Could you imagine? Be awesome, wouldn't it? Would probably want to stay with Vieira as a mentor, but could offer European. But we could offer European football playing with Rice, possibly high profile, not to mention wages. Yeah, we could. I don't think that Phillips sees West Ham as enough of a step forward. It's about perception, maybe. Why can't we send David Neres now? Well, it's not a case of us. Well, wait till 5 o'clock. I mean, there was a snag with the Shakhtar's perception of us and signing loan players and how not a lot of game time they get. But I don't think you can expect anyone to be signed, and unless they're like Mbappe, like go straight into the first team and play every game after the season. I think realistically, no club will do that. Unless there's a distinct need, like a centre-backs or a goalkeeper, and they come in and fill that gap. So I don't know what people expect. These guys are going to come in and Shakhtar expect them to come in and play 90 minutes every game. It's not going to happen, particularly West Ham. If we were to sign a player from Everton, I'd rather have Richarlison. I think he plays up front, more versatile. Wouldn't mind Gordon either. Yep. Do you all know Do you know at all? Yeah, I believe he does. The is literally the only body now blocking these players from signing, coming to the league. Championship clubs can sign them. I think you're. I think also, Epic. I believe it's only La Liga in the European leagues which is letting you sign players. I think, and again, like the goalposts have been changed again. It was yes, you can, and then everyone started investigating. And it's like, well, no, you can't. But how do you know what, who, what, where, how, why? So for me, I think it's really confusing, and so I think it's only the league. I think Bundesliga have shut their gates now. I think League Art has done the same, so we'll see. I think we need backup for Rice Suchek rather than spending 50 million quid on Phillips. Plenty good options around for less money and lets us strengthen more important areas as the team. And I think that's the idea also of bringing in Areola on loan again. If we can get for another loan deal, rather than spending the 12 million quid on him, that's 12 million we can reinvest and put towards Lewis Porter or put towards someone from League On or something like that. And that's what I would rather do, to be honest. I think the goalkeeper position, I think it's an important one. And if we do get or we sign Sam Johnson on a free or whatever, we don't need to spend money on the goalkeeper. I think this season, in the summer, maybe the following summer with Fabianski gone, if we haven't got Johnson in, if we need to make Areola's say second loan deal permanent, then we can spend. But then hopefully we'd have got the centre back, we'd have got the left back, a striker, and maybe cover for midfield as well. I like Gallagher because he presses a lot and seems hungry. Phillips is more injury prone. I mean, yeah, he's had a major injury. Major injury. My voice just broke by the sounds of it. I'd imagine it's the big clubs that don't need to sign players in the middle of the season. You don't want to let other clubs sign reinforcements, quite possibly. Bruges and Southampton have been poor since knocking us out of the cup. Always the way, mate. Always the way. Always the way. I'd be okay with bringing Czech back. Oh, all bins forgiven. No, I love Czech. He's a lovely, lovely dude. Do you think any young 23s will break through next season? Let me think. Again, it's all about perception and how we set up. I mean, I would like Ashby to break through, but then I think he's got Coufal, Fredericks, Johnson, three in front of him. Pierre Aguilar, I could see, because he's been playing really good for the 23s, and that could be your cover for midfield. I see Connor Coventry in a similar sense as Josh Cullen. I don't think he's ever going to break in. I think if he'd done it, he would have done it by now. Maybe Sonny Perkins might get a bit more of a run out. I mean, the man I want is Okaflex in the team. I just think he'll excite people in the same way that, when Benny's on form and various others, they excite. People will get off their chair when Okaflex is on. He's just such a good player, just so talented. But I think he's a bit of a maverick player. So it's how you work with him. In the same way, I think we've had to. It's almost like Ben Rama had to stifle his creativity a bit to sort of work in the Moyes system. I could see that happen with Okaflex as well, and there being clashes because he's such a live wire. As I say, he don't trap a ball. He traps it as a Rabona, and he's just that mentally he's so creative. So I'd like to see him get through. Any truth from the Jovic side? Who knows, mate? Luka Jovic potentially leaving Real Madrid, having a bit of a clear out ball accounts. Him, Hazard, Isco, they're having a bit of a clear out. So maybe a bit of a car boots out. Real Madrid at the moment, we'll see. Okay, leagues, thank you. For me, the ideal three would be Calvert-Lewin, Gallagher, and Tarkowski, but they'll be lucky to get two of them. I forgot about Tarkowski. He'll be a free transfer, won't he? He hasn't signed no one yet. He hasn't signed a contract to anywhere yet, so he's still available on a pre. You can only sign. No, you can only sign if you're in your country the month before or something like that. I believe. If it's a foreign-based country, they could sign him in January, but no one's nicked him up yet. So yeah, interesting. If you're new around here, why don't there's a few new names? If you're new, give us a like, give us a share, say hello, give us a little comment afterwards. It's all good stuff. all good stuff. Hit the bell notification. Don't forget also we've got Tony Carr coming on Wednesday as well, which will be a really cool interview. Top man is Tony. And we've got an appreciation night on Wednesday as well, on Thursday rather, for Judy Dix. A few more comments. What we got here? If there's one striker you could sign now, what's a realistic choice and option? What would be your number? What would your number one be? It's a really good question because there's so many different attributes you can look at it. Do I want someone who's basically sort of like Antonio? Do I want someone completely different? I think for a forward, I do like Brozier. I think he's great. I also like Antonio Nunes from Benfica. His talk was going back in for him in the summer. Who knows? 22. One of those signings which I think will become, he's already been heralded as the next Luis Suarez and people like that, but he could become a world-class player, and I would like to see us have a go at him. 50, 60 million, whatever it is. It's a lot of money, but not in today's standards now, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, an average Premier League player is like 25 million quid, isn't it? So, usually, but I would like to see Nunes. I just think he can develop. I don't think we're the type of team that would go to a club and buy their main striker, because Moyes has a certain way of playing with players, and so he would want to get someone in, I think, who could then mould into the West Ham way. We've had, obviously, look at Haller, look at how well he's playing now. He just couldn't get a tune out of him when he came in, when Moyes came back in. Couldn't get a tune out of him. So I wouldn't want us to go out and buy an established player. I'd like to go, I do like Adam Hlošek. I think he's a great player. He's a great talent and good potential there, but maybe he's a little bit further down maybe Nunes a little bit more further down the line. He's already playing. I know Hlošek's already playing for the Czech Republic. Obviously, he's injured at the moment, but Nunes is highly regarded in, obviously in the Portuguese Premier Liga, but also, with the Uruguayan national side as well. Who would you want? Let us know who you want. Do you think Phillips is long-term sub for debt? Well, not, because he's older, so hopefully not. I don't think so. Lingard to West Ham or Newcastle, I think, West Ham. Dave might getting a new one to do. Apparently, they're waiting to see at the end of the summer, end of the year, isn't it? We need to strengthen our fullbacks, definitely left back. I think right back or right back, left back, definitely. And there's talk of Longelo, potentially going to Nottingham Forest. And there was talk in the January transfer window that could open up negotiations with us getting Joe Worrell, maybe, who I think is an upgrade from someone like Dawson. Moyes is going to let the youngsters go, and we end up regretting it potentially. But I think there's a balance, isn't there? There's a balance between giving players game time, but also winning the games, and it's all about points and that type of thing. And people like Sonny Perkins, he's had a bit of game time. I think also generally, we'd have seen a lot more youngsters this season if we'd had more favourable, maybe Carabao Cup draws. So rather than having City, United, if we'd had Rochdale and Doncaster, you would have seen more under 23s given game time. Which showed, like with the Europa League, when we had the Zagreb and they played 7, I think, finished the game, or under 23s, which was amazing to see. I realise Sonny Perkins is so young, he's only 18, potential, he's unbelievable. But at the moment, he's brilliant. Aguilar's fantastic, man. If we don't buy it for 11 million, that could go up next year. It's a case of the loan and pay some of his wages still. I don't know. I don't know how long he's got left in his contract as well. Sure he'll be entering. I've got a feeling he might be entering his 1 year contract. 1 year. Let's have a quick look. See how long his contract's up for. So his contract is up end of next year. No, actually, no. Sorry. Tell her that's West Ham's contract. No, my bad. That's the West Ham contract. Doesn't say. He's been PSG for ages. He only says the the West Ham contract on this bit. Oh, no, his contract there expires 2023, so next summer. So I reckon that it would have to be an option. I'll be surprised if they let him go on loan again. Maybe they'll give him a 6-month loan and 6-month buy or something like that. I'd be surprised. ZD is available between 4 to 8, only 20 million, only 20 years old, bags of potential, proper unit, and will probably be happy to third or fourth. That's the thing you need to, from Bayern Munich. I mean, obviously that's someone we'd be looking at by all accounts. But you're right, that's the type of player I think you need to get, because there's potential and sell-on value as well. Dan Chester's, of course, Danny boy, trying to bring in a singing corner, or apparently so. Looking at it, has not played a single minute yet. I know. Is Southgate if Southgate relies on form, why has Dawson not been picked? Because he's got a cross dammers on his shirt. Perkins needs time and alone. He's miles from being ready at the moment, but plenty of potential. Yeah, exactly. Pite is amazing in the French league. I would have had him back. If that's all too much for Hammers, sod off, indeed. We've got here, let's go for a few more. Brozier or Origi. Ooh. I think Brozier's got more potential, but then I like Origi's work ethic. The fact is he's more than happy to play sort of second fiddle to, Firmino and players like that. And Nesri, I mean, he surprised me by how tall he was when he played. And Moyes is obviously interested in him. I don't like moany players. I just don't like moany players. He moans quite a lot. The only problem I see with Gallagher, though, is Rice both going forward, look forward. Look at someone who could take back. Well, I think there may be Rice, I don't know. It's a nice problem to have, John, though, isn't it? When you have three of those players of those calibre. If clubs are signing players, why aren't we? So they can start generating a squad. Yeah, agreed. Would be my choice, but not convinced it's actually realistic. If not, Brozier or DCL. I've always wanted Origi, but Ivan Toney's growing on me now, thinking he would do the job now. Yeah, he's got back to it, isn't he? He's got back to it. He's sort of like, there was definitely a period where he got found out a bit. He sort of came onto the scene in the beginning of the season, absolutely bossed it. And then he sort of went on a dip, and it's almost like the defenders were finding out how to work with him. But, yeah. Haller could be played tomorrow. He could do, indeed. I want a striker who Moyes wants and will play. Always rated Haller, but he never fitted our system. You're totally right. Nunez and Lingard will be perfect. Would be a good shout as he plays on the left attacker, which Moyes is looking for, as well as a striker. Alacy should be in the bench. He should be. We should have kept Haller. Didn't make that much of a sale. Well, I think Moyes is bringing his own peeps, isn't it? Oh, bless me. Sorry. I think he wanted to bring his own people. And so, the first thing, pretty much the first thing he did was get rid of Anderson on loan and accept half for Haller. So, business-wise, it's not very good. But anyway, Leicester has been ready all year. But just hasn't got a chance, hasn't had a chance. Yes, hopefully, Oz. Hopefully. Right, I'm going to shoot to the bottom. Would rather just buy Riola's class. Yeah, I don't think we'll buy it. I'd rather keep the money, to be honest. I think Nico can play, but isn't he quite old, Nico? I don't know. I'm talking to the wrong person. Cornwall Vindaloo, neither. I'm a Tikka Masala man, Land Tikka Masala man. If we get someone make Champions League this season, big overall squad needed. Yep, indeed. We need a player called Lasagna who can score against Spurs, indeed. Barbosa, God, that's a blast of the past, isn't it? Barbosa for me. Anyway, peeps, I'm going to have to shoot, unfortunately. As I said, thanks for joining us. We'll be back here at 5 o'clock doing our Hammers headlines, bringing you the latest stories that affected West Ham in the last 24 hours or so. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Maybe become a channel member. Why not? As I said, once again, not that one. Tony's on Wednesday, so make sure you start thinking some nice questions, some good questions to ask Tony. He's Mr. West Ham, he's Mr. Academy, so a great opportunity to talk to someone who's forged many amazing players at West Ham and for England as well, really, and beyond. So, everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate it. As I said, why don't you consider down there's a little button to join. Click on that and see if you fancy joining and become a channel member. We've got over 50 on the channel so far. We'd like to thank every one of them personally at the end of each of my shows. So take care, everyone. Stay safe, wash those hands, stay lucky, stay healthy, stay cheeky. I don't know where that's come from, but anyway, I might hit that. Stay lucky, stay healthy, stay cheeky, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Take care, my friends. Ta-ta.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate,